You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, and we always like to bring guests on our show, as some of you already know, as you listen to us. Thank you for your loyalty across the world, across the continents, 80
Not
some
just
odd.
guests. We get the real guests.
Okay. In that case, then let's introduce our very special guest, Eric Raddatz. Welcome back to the show.
I feel like a real guest.
Well, you do, because first of all, we put you in the green room.
People that listen to the show, know who Eric is because
my M&Ms
Nick and I have had. What was that?
I was going to say my M&Ms are nicely sorted. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had Eric on the show in the past, and Nick and I also did the Fort Myers Film Festival.
Yeah,
which Eric was running, and we were there, and Eric was gracious enough to have us for the entire weekend, and we had such a great time. We had a blast with you guys and interviewing a lot of the independent filmmakers, and it was so much fun.
Well, and I think isn't that what kind of got your guys' podcast up and running? Because you guys had like 2 viewers. But then after the Fort Myers Film Festival and me as a guest, didn't it go up to like about 1,000?
Yeah,
it went from 2 to 3 because you were listening after.
Listen, no, you said it right there. You said viewers, right? So you're absolutely right. In fact, we don't have viewers unless people watch their device while they're listening to the audio podcast.
Although we do have some people that tend to imbibe themselves with different types of drugs that do look at the radio.
Right.
Okay,
we don't.
We have viewers. We've got viewers.
So Eric, I mean, you're not a stranger to the entertainment world. I mean, you started off, if I remember correctly, from it's been a couple of years now. But were you not a photographer or something, or you worked at a newspaper, an editor? Like,
oh gosh, yeah. I mean, honestly, if we have time, I could go into details. But I mean, I started as a paper boy in Chicago for the Chicago Tribune.
Right.
I remember. I think I was in maybe 3rd or 4th grade, and at some point in that little town of Joliet that I lived, it seemed acceptable to let your 10 and 11-year-old just take newspapers and then go around and pass them out and deliver them at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I somehow learned everything I needed to know about life when I was at the paper boy. But yeah, it turned into a real fascination with media and multimedia and newspaper, and you've seen me in the roles as editor and presentation editor and designer and playroom, photographer, writer. I mean, I've done pretty much everything in the multimedia verse, which turned into an excitement about films and filmmaking, and eventually starting a couple of film festivals and now my own show, the Eric Raddatz Show on Zine.
Wait a minute. You call it the Eric Raddatz Show? Is that what you call it, the Eric Raddatz Show?
It's called the Eric Raddatz Show.
Wow, and you're Eric, and you're Eric in the Eric Raddatz.
I'm Eric Raddatz, and then sometimes
he doesn't have a very vivid imagination, Nick. I went straight with the name.
I thought about calling it a few things. I had a few names that I thought I was going to call it, but in the end, I mean, we could have done kind of like on your podcast. What should I name my show? And had not viewers but listeners chime in, Right. But what else are you gonna call it? You guys have the intelligence and the comedic ability.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. Intelligence.
Wow.
Listen.
He's blowing smoke right now.
Listen. I think it's perfect that you have a show because you really know how to make a guest feel good, even though you're a guest on our show and you're interviewing us. How did that happen?
I don't know, but I mean. Whoever came up with totally useless information is one. There's a certain sweetness in the self-deprecation that you offer with that, but at some point it's too much.
We're good at self-deprecating.
Listen, deprecation is not just self. Believe us. So, Eric, your fascination with media. Yeah, people when they ask us what is your show about, and like our show, and they say, well, it's totally useless information. It's all in the title. But your show, and I kid you when I say it's the Eric Raddatz Show. So what is the Eric Raddatz Show all about? Is it an interview show? Who are you talking to? Or do you talk to yourself? Like, what's the deal with your show?
Well, we just dropped, and if you go to Zine and you download Zine, it's an app that you can get through Roku or you can get through the internet. You can go on there and get it. They are the freshest thing happening when it comes to content. It's totally local, totally free. and they just needed somebody to be their guy to do a show, and I happen to be the guy who's doing my show now. We focus a lot on kind of what my specialties are after 15, 16 years of doing film festivals and working with filmmakers and running foundations and nonprofits. We talk a lot about independent film and independent filmmaking, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a musician or two and a discussion with somebody who's doing shows in Florida or shows in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's currently a few things, but it's unfiltered indie film, music, and entertainment with only the freshest stars alive in the entire world on the Eric Raddatz Show on Zine. Get it now.
No,
Wow.
you know what's funny?
He's
What's funny?
He's a rapper too. I love it.
What?
When I listen to the show, one of the things that I like about what you're doing is you're asking important questions. You're not just
Right.
like we joke around like we're patting each other on the back.
Well, that's because I'm not
But
as
you
funny
don't
as
do
you
that.
are. I mean, you're funny, and I have to come up with legitimate, interesting content. You know, you guys can just riff.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, because we're verbally funny. You're just funny looking, Eric. I mean, that just
well, from the top up, I would say, sure.
Wow. Thank God
Which is all you get.
No,
on
but
my
I
show.
like that your guests.
All you get on my show.
Your guests tend to reveal themselves. You know,
Yeah, you know that feeling though when you develop some camaraderie. Sometimes people open up, but I will say, we had one show that's going to drop here in a couple of weeks. There's a director out of New York, and he and I were talking about how he's, got his films into different film festivals, and he's worked and he's got something on Roku now, and he's kind of an upcoming director. And then he started talking about how we asked him a question and what he would spend his money if he were to make a film, and he said he would do a little something about foster children because he grew up as a foster child.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly I'm like, oh, you did? And we don't have to talk about it, but then suddenly we're talking about how.
That's what I like.
Yeah,
that's what I like. The show veered off from the norm,
but in an authentic way, because no one like, hey, we're talking about this in your life. He wanted to talk about it, and it turned into what he might be able to do as a filmmaker, who could bring awareness to it. And how some people just are talking and nothing, they're not really saying anything. And so far, we haven't had any guests like that. They're actually speaking authentically from the heart. These are filmmakers who have put a lot of passion into their passion projects. These are award-winning filmmakers, though. These are filmmakers who are emerging artists and entertainers and musicians who are on the rise. And, it's fun recording right out of New York City, like in Times Square. Like we've got the whole, it's like the Today Show or CNN back in the day when they used to have like those just windows and people could look in and see what you're doing.
Yeah, street studios.
Street studio, super transparent. So we got the traffic is out there, the foot traffic is out there, and people are walking by. And
is that the only place? Is that the only place? Is that the actual studio, or are you doing some in Florida as well?
Doing some in Florida as well, and we have partnerships, obviously, the Fort Myers Film Festival, which you guys should come down for May 14th through 18th, 2025 in Fort Myers, Florida, at a lot of different of our partners. And our partners, we're looking at doing live shots out of these places. So the Sidney and Mern Davis Arts Center, the Calusa Nature Center and Planetarium, the Alliance for the Arts, Babcock Ranch, Big Arts, IMAG. All these places are revered and special partners to me, and so we are gonna do the video podcast out of some of these other places. But it's hard when you're living in Florida to get sometimes New York talent. You'll say, hey, you want to be on the show, and they're like, great, yeah. Where are you? I'm like, Florida. Well, then you got to get a ticket, and But when you're an emerging artist or a renowned, well-known artist living in New York City, you've got just come on down to 38th and Broadway.
Yeah, right.
I'll just subway there. I'll be there in 10 minutes, and suddenly we're getting a lot of these New York City emerging artists and filmmakers. So,
so May 14th through the 18th is the film festival.
Yeah, FortMyersFilmFestival.com.
I've been looking in my mail for those VIP passes.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, no,
find
we.
them.
Yeah, I mean, I sent him, 3 years ago for that one. You should have those by now.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think that we were there for the 2023 film festival. I think it was, or 22.
It was great.
Might have
You
been
guys
20,
did.
20,
You did a
2022 or
great
23. I
job.
don't remember.
Yeah.
But-
What I mean is, I just got those tickets, so thank you for that.
Yeah, no.
I'll be
I
there.
sent him Forrest Gump mail. Remember when he ran across the?
Yeah.
I gave it to a Forrest Gump. It's forrestgumpmail.com.
So you know what?
And you give it to a guy, and he just runs. So it takes him a couple of years.
I'll tell the folks because I know Eric for many, many years because I made an independent film.
Yeah.
And Eric was involved with a different film festival at the time, which we won't name. And
I don't care if you do.
Yeah, it was Naples Film Festival in Naples,
I started
Florida.
the Naples Film Festival. It's fine.
Yeah. And you guys were starting that as well at the time. This is in 2009, I think. I made an independent film, a full-length film.
What's
That's
the name
how
of
I met
it?
Eric.
What's the name of it? Come on,
It was
plug it.
The Knowers.
The Knowers.
The
Okay.
Knowers.
All right.
You can see the trailer on YouTube.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's how I met Eric. And, I've been to many film festivals with that film. And what makes the Fort Myers Film Festival so great is it truly was, it felt organic. It felt real. It didn't feel like a setup all the time. Like every event was this promotional, nonsensical setup. It was real, and it's real filmmakers, and they're talking to each other. And when you go to a party, they're there, and it's discussions, substantive discussions about the industry. And that's what filmmaking is, independent filmmaking is about. And you guys hit it right on the head. So the Fort Myers Film Festival, May 14th to the 18th, folks, if you can, head down to Fort Myers. Beautiful weather, beautiful place, and a great film festival.
Yeah, and you guys got to see it, enjoy it, the rooftop at the City Burn after party, the Luminary Hotel, all of the different restaurants that we have that are partnered with us. With Kern's Restaurant Group, we've got Izzy's right across the street. We've got Cantina Laredo. I mean, you're in a cute, quaint, refurbished kind of downtown area with top-notch independent films, and I couldn't have said it better than you. I get a lot of compliments, and that's the thing is, we remember when Sundance was quaint like this. We remember when Sundance was incorporate. We remember when we could sit and meet Redford and all the filmmakers who are in there because it was smaller, and now that's just not how Sundance is. So a lot of people are coming
commercial.
in and they recognize what you do, and it takes a super intelligent person to recognize this, Roy. So I'm not surprised, but
wait, you're talking to us? What? Thank you for that.
I'm not surprised, but I am.
Notice how Nick put himself. That was directed to me, Nick.
I know that.
But Nick put himself in.
Yeah.
As though we share one brain.
What are you doing, Nick? Wow. We have to. Well, the neat thing is, first of all, I do remember that rooftop party, and I think now the lawsuits have all been completed. But we did a lot of dancing, and
we paid out a lot thanks to you, Nick.
Well, listen, I think people will never see Fort Myers the same way ever again. But you said something earlier. So basically, Eric Raddatz and the Eric Raddatz Show, you're on Broadway.
Yes.
You are on Broadway. Think about it.
Yeah.
So I'm on Broadway. So not everyone can say that. Eric Raddatz is on Broadway with the big lights and everything.
A big light.
Yeah,
there's lots of lights and big TV screens out in Times Square that show my beautiful face.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's as if to say, look here, something cool is happening. This guy's cool. But I'm not.
No. You know what? No.
What?
Don't sell yourself short. Listen, what happens is this: you have caused more accidents in Times Square than in the past little. And here's why: because everyone's looking up at those screens and they're paying attention to your beautiful face. And next thing you know,
it's a beautiful sunny day. Why am I looking at a moon?
Right.
Right. And you guys need to come out to the Times Square studio. We need to get you on my show.
So I was going to ask you, when are you going to have us as your guest? Because because we are independent. I mean, we have the show, the podcast and radio show. Of course, we're coast to coast in Canada and all over the world, as we mentioned. But I mean, we are interesting because we are independent. We are our own show. We write our own stuff. Like, we don't use AI. Although we tried a failed experiment, we had AI write a segment for us. It didn't go well because really
it was terrible.
you don't need. And I joke around because people ask us and say, do we use AI in our show? And I tell them, no, we don't use any intelligence, artificial or otherwise, in our show. But thanks for listening. But the thing is, we are independent artists in such a way because we come up with our own material. And as everyone knows, we pick topics and then we present the material to each other for the first time. And that's what makes it entertaining. So I think that's perfect for your type of show because it's an interview type show. And then we can talk about, why it's important for us to do something a little off the beaten path, which is useless information. And some people say you call it useless, but some of them find it quite useful. And we're really happy about that.
I think it's very useful. And I love that you're a little transparent about how those things work. A lot of the people that, we're not competing with them even at all. But,
Right.
One day we might compete with them. Jimmy Fallon is hilarious, but, he's got at least 10 writers, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with Seth Meyers and Jimmy Kimmel and Conan O'Brien. And that makes them very funny because they have really, they're paying, 10 people to pay they're very hilarious.
Yeah.
It's why Saturday Night Live is funny too. They still have the element of Jimmy's funny, but when you say we don't have writers because we can do our own thing, I think there's a lot of people that likes that. They don't want it thought out, too much. They want just a natural voice and an authenticity, which you guys offer as well.
Yeah.
And again, you guys are funny. Just
I
when you get you guys
agree.
together, you're funny.
Oh, thank you.
I agree that we originally started the show, Eric, and we had a script for the first one or two shows
That we
and
even
it
shared.
wasn't organic.
We shared it on the screen, and then it just didn't work.
It just didn't work. It wasn't organic. It wasn't funny. So we decided, let's just do our own thing and then do the show so that it's this organic. That's what I feel on your show. You're discussing and that person's telling you that thing for the first time. It's not like you're looking at a Jimmy Kimmel where he knows what the response is and the person that he's talking to knows what the question is. I don't know what you're going to say today on the show. We had such a brief discussion that you didn't even know you thought you were coming on for a meeting.
Right.
So, and we're doing a full interview.
What I am going to say is this. Phenomena, boop, boop, doo doo.
Which, by the way, was a soundtrack. This is how useless that information is. Okay, that was a soundtrack for a soft porn,
Really?
Swedish soft porn movie.
Was it?
You guys made or
No. Are you kidding? No. It was Jim Henson, I guess he was watching one of those Swedish soft porn movies and heard the music.
true?
Yes, and he decided to use that on the Muppets. So,
Well, you get a little kinky when you're constantly sticking your hand up puppets. You know what?
yeah, exactly.
You speak for yourself, Lacasio.
Yeah.
You speak for yourself.
So, Eric, we can't thank you enough. I think we have an opportunity to check out the independent filmmakers. I think you bring the voices. You raise the voices for all these people who work really hard, and you don't have to be mainstream to be talented and to attract a lot of talented people. And I think you're a part of that scene, and you've been around it long enough. So, once again, the name of your show is
The Eric Raddatz Show.
And it's
Find
available
us
where?
on Zine. Only on Zine, exclusively Zine. Download Zine. You look at right there, the entertainment. We only have 2 drop. We just started, but we have plenty more to come, and hopefully we get one with you guys on it.
Looking forward to it.
And May 14th through the 18th is the Fort Myers Film Festival. So you have the Eric Raddatz Show on the Zine. You can download Zine and watch Eric Raddatz Show. And on May 14th through the 18th, we have the Fort Myers Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Great film festival. So, Eric, you got lots of irons in the fire, so to speak.
We do, and we'll promise you this: when we're on your show as your guests, we will wear pants this time.
Oh, well, that would be nice because we actually have a full-length shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't want to make you guys feel bad about yourselves.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It gives new meaning. We give new meaning to depth of field. Thank you, Eric
Yeah.
Raddatz.
I wouldn't want the producer to scream, "There's a snake loose in the studio."
Right, exactly.
Well,
Wow.
I'll leave you with what my photography instructor used to say, and he says, you really gotta use your mind, because it's the little things in life that count.
Wow.
And I want you guys to take that to heart.
Jeez. Eric,
See, I have a distorted mind.
Yeah, he does. And there's no adjustment for it. Hey, Eric Raddatz, thanks again for joining us on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
It's a pleasure. Love you guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
See you May 14th.
Sounds good, guys. Love you guys.